Good evening, fellow UK air gunners. This is a short how to do it review, a modification to the new Reximex Lieva PCP. As you are aware, these are designed from the outset for quite high power. 30 foot-pounds is quite common, but here in the UK we are not allowed such power, so we have to be restricted to 12 foot-pounds. And the manufacturer, instead of redesigning the internals for 12 foot-pound, they just bung in a restricted transfer port, which reduces the power, but it makes the gun very loud and there's a lot of wasted air. This mod will show you how to quieten it down. It will lighten the cocking action and you'll get far more shots. So here we go. First thing we have to do is remove the rear sight. Which is chewed up already. To one side. Next thing we probably want to do is unscrew the thread protector. And then we slacken the two barrel bands. Then slide the fore end forward. Locates on two pins there. Take that off, put that to one side. Now we're going to remove the air cylinder complete with the valve unit, so there's no need to bleed the air. You can take it off fully charged. Underneath the rear sight, one large screw. One grub screw, and then all we do is twist and pull the cylinder out of the action. They can be quite tight, so it's probably easier. I mean, you can obviously pop the cylinder in a vise and give it a tug, but if you don't have a vise, the easy way to be able to twist it is to remove the barrel. On the underside, one small screw there. Grub screw, and the barrel should just slide forward and out. There we go. And now to take out the cylinder, it's literally twist and pull, and there you have it. My gun has already been modified, but the transfer port is in there. The original one is, this is a 177 gun by the way, sorry, this is a 22 gun. The original transfer port is about 1.8 mil. You can of course drill that out But if you want to keep the original parts, I just made one from an M6 machine screw. The thread is M6 by 1mm, by the way. So there's your transfer port. This is the original one. That's the original one there. And it's literally, as you can see, just a slotted screw. So you just pop your screwdriver in, unscrew it, and then you can change it, or you can drill that out, pop it back in. That's the transfer board side of it. Now obviously, because you've done that, you're going to get much higher power, too high, so you need to fit a softer hammer spring, and the hammer is right behind the cylinder in there. And to remove the hammer spring is the next job. And what we have to do here is this plate on the underside, just in front of the cocking arm. We have to remove that first, which I'll do now. 2 screws. Now be careful, because there's a spring under here pushing up on the plate. It's a sear spring. You'll see that spring. If you lift that off carefully, you see that locating hole there, the spring sits in, and it drops in a hole in the sear there. Now to remove the sear next, simple, this screw on the side. Take that screw out, lift the sear up, there you go, and there you'll note that the pellet probe there, you'll see that large slotted screw head. That's an elongated pin which fits into a slot in the hammer to allow it to be cocked. Now you need to slacken this a couple of turns, just enough to get the hammer spring out. Do not remove that screw all the way. If you do, there is a part, it looks like a square nut. It's polished stainless steel with a square with a hole in it, and that's a guide. That is a guide. It runs in 2 channels. It's underneath, it's between the hammer and the pellet probe. If you take that out, that square guide can fall into the action, and if it does that, well, you're in the poo. It took me best part of an hour to get that part back in when I first took that out, so don't do it guys, just slacken it. There we go. Couple of turns should be enough. A little bit more. And out comes your hammer and your hammer spring. This is the replacement hammer spring. The original one is quite a bit stronger and longer. There's the original hammer spring, and there's the replacement. These springs are 10mm OD, 1.2 wire, and the original 78mm in length. Now I happen to find springs on Amazon, same dimensions but only 70mm in length, about 8mm shorter. And this is you get a pack of 10 for about £6, and there's all you need to know. 1.2 by 10 by 70. They are on Amazon. Hope you can see that. You get 10, so you've got a good supply. And I found you don't have to shorten them at all. It's a straight swap for that one. You pop that in, and just reassemble, basically. You note the slot there, that's where that guide pin, so you have to line the slot up with the guide pin and get it in. Excuse me, I'll get it in. Pop the hammer in. Hopefully you've got the slot lined up and you can then screw the cocking pin back in. Screw it in all the way. And make sure that you've caught it and you can feel it being cocked. You can feel it. And when you've got that in, tighten that screw up. You pop your sear back in, only goes one way. See that under there? You get your pivot pin, just locate that. Screw that back. There you go. Then the sear spring goes in there. It's quite a large hole for a small spring. Now the indent hole, see there by my thumb, it's not central in the plate, it's towards the rear. You have to locate the spring for the sear in that hole, which I will do. There, pop that. You have to hold that against the spring pressure while you pop the screws back in, or one of them at least. There, pop your other one in. There we go, there's your hammer. Just see it in the end there. Pop your cylinder back in, you'll notice a detent hole there for the grub screw, which goes in the top obviously. And what I've done is I've put a pencil mark there to help me align that detent with the grub screws that's going to lock it in place. Just grab your grub screw, pop him back in. That's your cylinder back in. Now your barrel. There's your barrel. Obviously again you've got, there's your transfer port, which is obviously got to be at the bottom. Make sure your barrel goes through your two barrel bands. your transfer port away from you. That's the retaining hole. I've put white Tipex in that little detent hole where the grub screw locates to help you find it. There you are. And you just twist him around until you can see your white mark, and pop that grub screw back in. There we are. Fore end. Pop that on. Slide it back onto those two locating pins. Slide your barrel band back and nip that up. Your front barrel band. Whoops. Front barrel band. Clip that up. Put your thread protector back. Pop your rear sight on and that's it. You're good to go. How easy was that? Thanks for watching.